Now discuss today history. So now topic era of militant nationalism, extent of mass participation, students, women, certain sections of zamindari is labor, okay, some lower middle and middle class in towns and cities participated for the first time, while the Muslims generally kept away annulment of partisan. Mainly, okay, mainly, okay, students, women, certain section of zamindars, laborers, sorry, okay, students, women, certain sections of zamindari laborers, and some lower class and middle classes in towns and cities participated for the first time, while the Muslims generally kept away. Okay, annulment of partisan mainly to curb the menace of revolutionary terrorism. Why Swadesi movement fizzled out by 1998? Severe government repression, lack of effective organization, and a disciplined focus with arrest and deportation of all leaders. The movement left leaderless, split in nationalist rank, narrow social base. So here important things. Achievements a leap forward because hitherto untouched sections participated. Egyptians to of later movement marched. Richness of the movement extended of culture, science, and literature. People educated in bolder form of politics. Colonial harmony undermined. Major cause of moderate extremist split at Surat. 1907 moderates wanted to restrict the boycott movement to Bengal and to a boycott of foreign clothes and liquor. Extremists wanted to take the movement for all parts of the country and include within its ambit all forms of association with the government through a boycott of schools, colleges, law courts, legislative council, government service, municipalities, etc. Government acts for repression of Swadesi movement, seditious Mating Act 1907, Criminal Amendment Act 1908, Indian newspaper incitement of two offences Act 1908, Explosive Substances Act 1908, Indian Press Act 1910, more limited reforms. Okay. Number of elected members are in imperial and provincial legislative council increased. Elected non-officials still in minority. Non-officials to be elected indirectly. Thus, elections introduced for the first time. Okay, separate electors introduced for Muslim legislatures. Put first resolution, ask questions, and supplementaries. Vote separate items of the budget. So, here separate electors introduced for Muslim legislatures. Could pass resolution, ask questions, and supplementaries. Vote separate items of the budget. So here regions. Revolutionary activities, reasons for emergence. Younger elements not ready to a retreat after the deadline of open phase. Leadership failure to have revolutionary energist of the youth. Government repression left no peaceful avenues open for protest. Okay, open for protest and ideology. Assassinate unpopular officials, thus strike terror in hearts of rulers and abuse peoples to expel the British with faith based on individual heroic actions on lines of Irish nationalist or Russian nihilist, okay, and not a mass-based countrywide struggle. Okay, revolutionary activities. Bengal 1902, first revolutionary groups in Midnapur and Calcutta. The Anushilon Samiti. Okay, the Anushilon Samiti. 1906, Jugantar, the revolutionary weekly started. Okay, 1906 to 1956, several newspapers started advocating revolutionary terrorism. 1907, attempt to on life of the terror of the attempt of the life on life of the former Lieutenant Governor of East Bengal and Assam. 1908, Prafulla Chaki and Khudiram Bose attempt to murder Muzaffarpur magistrate. Kingsport Alipur conspiracy case involving Arvind Ghosh, Barindra Kumar Ghosh and others. Kumar Ghosh and others. 1908, Burat Dacoity by Dhaka, New Zealand. 1912, bomb thrown at Viceroy Hardinge by Rasbihari Bose and Sachin Sennal. Sandhya Jugantar by advocating revolutionary activity Jatin Das and Jugantar. The German plot during World War I. Maharashtra. 1879, Ramosi peasant forced by Yasudev Balwant Phadke. 1990, Tilak's attempt to propagate military among the youth through Shivaji and Ganapati festival. 1890, and his journal Kesari and Maratha. 1897, Chapekar brothers. 1897, Chapekar brothers killed Rand, the Fledge Commissioner Pune, and Lieutenant Ayers. 1899, Mitra Mela, a secret society organized by Savarkar and his brother. 1904, Mitra Mela marched with Abhinav Bharat. 1909, district magistrate of Nasik, Jackson, killed. Punjab revolutionary activity by Lala Rajput Rai, Ajit Singh, Aga Haidar, Syed Haidar Raja, Bhai Parmanand, Lal Chand Falak, Sipi Amba Prasad. Revolutionary activity abroad. 1905, Samji Krishna Varma set up Indian Home Rule Society and India House and brought out journal The Sociologist in London. 1909, Madan Lal Dhingra murdered Karjan Wali. Madame Bhikaji Kama operated from Paris and Geneva and brought out journal Vande Mataram. Ajit Singh also active. Berlin Committee for India Independence established by Virendranath Chattopadhyay and others. Mission sent to Baghdad, Persia, Turkey, Kabul. In North America, the Ghadar was organized by Lala Hardayal. Ramchandra, Bhawan Singh, Carter Singh, Sarava, Bargatullah, Bhai Parmanand, the Ghadar program. Assistance of assassinate officials, published revolutionary literature, work among Indian troops abroad and raise funds. Bring about simultaneous revolt in all colonies of Britain. Attempt to bring about an armed revolt in India on February 21, 1915. Amidst favorable conditions created by the outbreak of First World War and the Komagatamaru incident, September 1915. The plan was foiled due to treachery. Defense of India Act 1915 passed primarily to deal with the Ghadrites. Next, Home Rule League movement. Manifestation of a trend of aggressive politics in national movements was pioneered by Tilak and Anderson on lines of a similar movement in Ireland. Factors favoring the movement need being held for popular pressure to attain concessions, disillusionment with parliamentary reforms. What time is Missouri's public ready to protest? Tilak Basant ready to assume leadership aimed of the movement to convey to the common man the concept of home rule as self-government. Tilak Leagues started in April 1960 and operated in Maharashtra, Karnataka, central provinces and Berar, and had 6 branches. Nations League started in September 1916 and operated in rest of India, had 201 branches. Later the leagues were joined by others including moderate congressmen. Methods used organizing, discussion, reading rooms, propaganda through public meetings, newspaper, pamphlet, posters, etc. Organizational link established between town and country. Prepared a generation of ardent nationalist influence moderate extremist. Reunion at Lucknow 1916, Lucknow session of INC 1916. Extremists readmitted to Congress. Muslim League and Congress put up joint demands under Lucknow, but Congress accepted the League's position on separate electorates. Importance of Montagu's statements, attainment of self-government for Indians became a government policy. So now we discuss era of mass nationalism begins 1919 to 1939. Okay, so here we discuss summary why nationalist upsurge at end of First World War. First War economically hardship, nationalist disillusion, nationalist disillusionment with imperialism worldwide, impact of Russian Revolution. Montagu aims for reforms, diarchy in provinces to list reserved and transferred for administration. Reserved subjects to be administered by governor through executive council, and transferred subjects are to be administered by the ministers form of legislative council. Extensive powers to governor general, and secretary of state for interference. Okay, franchise expanded powers also extended. Governor General to administer with an executive council of 8-3 to be Indians. Okay, so two list of the administration, central and provincial, bicameral legislature, central legislature as the legislative assembly as the lower house of the Council of State, and Council of States as the proper house. Okay, drawbacks, diarchy arrangements too complex and irrational to be functional. Central executive not responsible to the legislature. Limited franchise, sense of betrayal by the British, especially after Rayard Act. British promises of reward afterwards were failed to materialize. Okay, nationalists disappointed Gandhi's activism in South Africa. So 1893 to 1914 set up National Indian Congress and started set up National Indian Congress and started Indian opinion. So Satyagraha against registration certificates, campaign against restriction on Indian migration, campaign against poll tax, invalidation of Indian marriages, Gandhi's faith in capacity of masses to fight established. He was able to evolve his own style of leadership and politics and techniques of struggle. Gandhi's early activism in India, Champaran Satyagraha, 1917, first civil disobedience. Okay, and 1917. Okay, Ahmedabad mill strike, 1918, first hunger strike. Kheda Satyagraha, 1918, first non-cooperation. Okay, so Rowlatt Satyagraha, first mass strike, and Jallianwala Bagh massacre and the inquiry committee. Next, Khilafat non-cooperation movement. 3 demands: favorable treaty for Turkey, redressal for Punjab wrong, establishment of Swaraj techniques used, boycott of government grants, school, colleges, law courts, municipality and government services, foreign cloth, liquor, setting up of national school, colleges, panchayat and using Khadi school. Second stage to include civil disobedience, non-payment taxes. Nagpur session, Congress session, December 1920. Congress goal is changed to attainment of Swaraj through peaceful and legitimate means. Attainment of self-government through a constitutional means. Through which are incidents, violence by agitations, move from Gandhi to withdraw the movement. Swarajist and no changes. Swarajist advocated council entry after withdrawal to non-coercive movement with an aim to end the mandate's council. No changes. Okay, advance conduct constructive work during the transition period. Emergence of the new forces during 1920. Spread of Marxism and socialist ideas, activities of Indian youth, peasants, agitation, growth of trade unionism, caste movement, revolutionary terrorism with a tilt towards socialism, activities of HSRA established in 1924. So here you can see all the things. Okay, so here Marxist and socialist idea. Okay, and present agitation, all are new force come here and established activities of HRA and HSRA established 1924. So here is Swarajist aim to end the Mandate Council. So Kakuri robbery 1925, reorganized 1928, Sanders murder 1928, bomb in Central Legislative Assembly 1929. Bid to blow up Mysore train 1929, Azad killed in police encounter 1931, Bhagat Singh Rajguru Sukhdev hanged 1931, broadened view of HSRA. Okay, in later years ideology moved away from individual action towards the socialist ideas. Revolutionaries in Bengal attempt on life of Calcutta Police Commissioner 1924, Surya Sen Chittagong revolt group and Chittagong robberies 1930. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Simon Commission come in 1928 to explore the possibility to further constitutional advance. Boycott by Indians because no Indian represented in the commission. Responses of various groups. Ambedkar Memorandum impact on Simon Commission. Nehru report, first Indian effort to draft constitutional scheme, recommended dominant status not separate electorates but joint electorates with reserved seats for minority linguistic provinces. 19 fundamental rights, responsible government at center and in provinces, responses of various groups. Okay, so Calcutta Congress session December 1928, 1 year ultimatum to government to accept dominant status or else civil disobedience to be launched for complete independence. Lahore Congress session 1928 December. Congress adopted its complete independence as its goal. Congress decided to launch a civil disobedience movement. Okay. January 26, okay, 1930, and created first Independence Day over in the country. Then March up to April 6, 1930. Led by Gandhiji, resulted in separate spread of salt satyagraha to Tamil Nadu, Malabar, Andhra, Assam, Bengal, spread of the movement with additional avenues of protest. Okay, Khudmagars active in Northwest Frontier Province, textile workers active in Solapur, okay, and Salt Satyagraha in Dharmasana, no Chowkidara tax campaign in Bihar, anti-Chowkidara and anti-Union road tax in Bengal, no tax movement in Gujarat, civil disobedience of forest law in Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Central Province, agitation against Cunningham circular in Assam, no rent campaign in UP, mass participation of women, students, some subsection of Muslim, merchants and petty traders, tribals, workers and prisons. Gandhi are in fact in March 1931. Congress agreed to attend the second round of conference and withdraw CDM, Civil Disobedience Movement. Okay, Karachi session, Karachi Congress session 1931. Okay, enters Dandi Pact between Gandhi and Arvind. Okay, first resolution on economic program and fundamental rights. The Round Table Conference. The second Round Table Conference right to voting in Britain against concessions to Indian sessions got deadlocked on question of the safeguards of minorities. Next, here is December 1931, April 1934, second phase of the Civil Disobedience Movement, Communal Award 1932, and Pune Pact provided separate electorates to depressed classes. Nationalists felt this to be a threat. Okay, a threat to national unity. Gandhi's first unto death. Okay, led to Pune. Gandhi's first unto death, 1932 of September, led to Pune Pact, which abandoned separate electorates for depressed classes in favor of increased reserve seats for them. The impact of Pune Pact on depressed classes, then electorates, and its impact on depressed classes, differences and similarities between thoughts of Gandhi and Ambedkar. Okay, so next we discuss first stage of debate on construction work on Gandhi's lies, constitutional struggle and participation of electoral rejection, constructive work, constitutional struggle, continuation of CDM, Government of India Act 1935, proposed an All India Federation became a legislature at the Central Provincial Autonomy, 3 list of legislation, federal, provincial and concurrent, at center subject to be administered divide into reserved and transferred categories. Provincial legislatures to be directly elected. Article 1935 election to be provincial assemblies held. Congress minister from Bombay, Madras. Okay, provincial Bihar, Odisha, some Northwest Frontier Province. Second stage debate. Nehru Subhas Congress and nationalists opposed official acceptance. Leftist, okay, proposed until the council to add an aim to hit deadlocks. Gandhi in the beginning opposed the office of the acceptance, but later gave the approval. Congress sessions in April of 1936 and February 1937 okay, decided to contest elections. Here Congress stand on Second World War II. Freedom given after the war. Okay, so there is some of the responsibility government. Here is September 1, 1939, World War II. Britain declared India's support for war. Okay, September 1914. Congress working committee meeting Wardha. Gandhi was for unconditional support to Britons. Wherever Subhas Bose leftists were for taking the advantage of Britain's difficulties for understanding starting a mass movement to dislodge colonialism. Nehru recognizes the impartialist nature of the war. So, Lin Go statements here evidence war aim to resist aggression and consultative committee here is not ratified the act. So, insane. So, friends, it is our last. Here, the Congress response is March and August of our invention. Next time we'll discuss it together. Thank you, friends. I think it will be helpful.